Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we're doing a countdown of the top 10 detailing faux pas.
Guess that I am wrong or how we're close now. I've been making my amends. Come and see. Where have you been off to now? Wait for me, dear beloved, lend me light as I wander off into the night, or I won't be found, or I won't be found.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. We are doing a fun video today, a very quick one, and that is on the top 10 like detailing faux pas, I've called it, but it could be mistakes or classic things that if you get wrong, people are going to kind of be all over you. You know, you're going to get shot down in flames in an instant, and it happens quite a lot. So in reverse order of importance or scale of kind of criminality from a detailing perspective. So in 10th place, one of the most common mistakes you can ever say on a forum is that you have had your car cleaned in either a hand car wash or even worse, an automated car wash with the old spinning Christmas trees, you know. The reason being, obviously, that they have a bad reputation for smashing up your clear coat or your paintwork on your car, and 95% of the time that reputation is true. Saying that, there are some really good places around. I've got one, I'm down in West Sussex, and there's a place that charge, I think it's either a £5 or a tenner to clean the exterior of your car. They spend about 20 minutes to half an hour, and yeah, their mitts ain't spotlessly clean, but these guys work their nuts off, and they are always really busy. So I think sometimes the reputation about car hand washes in particular is a bit unfair. As we know, 99.99999% of the population does not give a monkeys about the finish on their paintwork, and they don't even know there's clear coat on there. So being able to pay £5 or £10 to get your car cleaned very quickly, you know, even though it does tear up your clear coat, is fine with most people. But mention it on a detailing forum that you've ever done it, you will get shot down in flames. So in number 10, probably the least of the faux pas is using an automated or hand car wash to have your car cleaned. Next up in 9th place, this is one of the most common questions, and again, you know, if you catch Mr. Troll on a bad day, he will tear you apart for saying this one. What do you put down first, or a wax or a sealant? If you get that wrong, or you happen to mention that you were cleaning your car and you put down a sealant on top of a wax or something, you're going to get crucified very, very quickly. So just to touch on that kind of subject, the theory behind that is that sealants, okay, I mean, the word sealant itself doesn't imply much more than that it applies a seal, but sealants typically within the detailing industry now are recognised as products which bond and need or benefit from a clean surface to bond to. So for that reason, people say, you know, your sealants go on a prepped surface and they go on first, whereas a paste wax typically will stick to anything. You know, you sling a wax on top of something, let the vapor system, the solvent system flash away, and then it starts to stiffen and leave the wax behind, so you could kind of throw it on anything. A wax will benefit from a clean surface as well, a prepped surface, but it's not as essential as a sealant. That, by the way, that wax before a sealant is a generalisation again, because it depends on the product. Not all sealants chemically bond, okay? For starters, every product's different, and there's some sealants out there that are forms of resin, which again rely on a similar system of solvents flashing away and then leaving a harder resin behind. Some of them do bond, so that prep thing is true. Some waxes also contain synthetic components which benefit from bonding. So the whole wax and sealant thing first isn't as simple as that, but generally speaking, yes, sealant, prep, clean surface first, wax less reliant on a clean surface. Anyway, don't say you put a sealant on top of your wax in a forum where you get shot down, is the bottom line. Okay, Okay, the next one in 8th place. This is the 2 bucket method, okay? So we all know about this, you know, using 2 buckets to clean your car is now kind of embedded into the kind of detailing community. It's one of the first things you probably pick up on when you're not into this scene, you suddenly discover it all and you join all these groups and start talking to people. The first thing you'll notice is everyone's using 2 buckets because they're using 1 bucket to clean the mitt, you know, and it's like, sounds great at first, but when you've been doing it for like 20 years, you know, and this 2 bucket thing has been around for a fair old amount of time, but it's really, really established now. But the thing is, there are better ways of cleaning the mitt than using a 2nd bucket, you know, which I've said before. There are quicker ways, there's ways where you use less water, there are ways that actually get the mitt clean and less dirt. That being said, you know, having 2 buckets out there when there's a lot of road film in your car is a sensible thing to do, and I covered all this in the 2 bucket method. Really, this video is more about faux pas, so right or wrong, whether you love 2 buckets or you hate them and you only use 1, if you sort of mention anywhere that you're only using 1, you are going to get shot down in flames again. So in 8th place, bit of a controversial one, you know, the use of 2 buckets. Right, next on the list, okay, this is another wash-related medium one, and that is the good old-fashioned brush on a stick. So if you see videos of people that have got their phones out or a camera out and they're filming someone cleaning their car with a brush so they can put it onto a forum to say that this guy's, look, he's cleaning his car with a brush. So don't ever get caught cleaning your car with a brush on a detailing forum, because you will get shot to pieces. Now, again, all of these kind of faux pas, there are detailing companies that know what they're doing, that are offering wash media that is on a stick, that is actually completely safe if you use it properly to clean your car. You know, it doesn't have to be, if it's on a stick, it doesn't mean it's instantly dangerous. The problem is a lot of times people are using like nylon brushes on a stick, you know, dirty old brushes to just go over the car, and if you do that, you're obviously going to tear your clear coat out. So that's number 7, using a brush on a stick. Be careful showing any footage of you doing that, or pictures or whatever in online, or you'll get torn apart. Okay, coming in this 6th place, the good old faithful. This has been a long established faux pas. I've got it down on my list as bird shit and bog roll, and this one's pretty self-explanatory. So it's the people that use bog roll to wipe off bird crap from their car. That will get you shot down in flames in an instant, you know. And you could still use bog roll everyone probably has, don't they? Let's be honest, everyone watching this video here, including me, probably at some stage of their life has used bog roll to wipe bird crap off their car. If you do it reasonably carefully, you get the bog roll soaking wet, the bird crap soaking wet, then you could probably remove it without ripping off the clear coat down to the metal, you know what I mean? But that being said, if you just go and get a bit of dry bog roll and start hammering that bird crap with it, you're going to scratch the hell out of your clear coat. So you are better off doing it properly. We've done a video on how to remove bird poo safely from your car, and the whole emphasis on that video is not making a big technical deal out of it, because you know, it's crap on your car, and most times when there's crap on your car, you just want it off there quickly. So go and watch that video if you're interested in bird crap. You've got less of a life than me. Okay, right, what's number 5? Okay, so that was number 6. Number 5, this one has been demoted. If you wind the clock back I'd say about 5 years, this would have been number 1 on most people's lists. Now it's made a little bit of a comeback, and that is using a sponge to wash your car. So this is another controversial one, isn't it? Because if you're cleaning your car, you know, and you've got a picture of it and you put some questions, or you put a picture of your car up, you know, because you're proud of it all being clean on a forum, so just clean my car, and in the background you've got a bucket with a sponge in it, someone is going to crucify you. Now the theory behind that is that the sponge, you know, if you look at a sponge, it's, you know, it's a soft old thing with loads of like pores or holes in it, okay? And the theory now is that if you put a sponge on top of dirt, it's like an applicator, okay? It'll pin the dirt and you'll roll it around and you'll scratch your clear coat. And I totally think that's correct. You will, okay? So you need to be very careful using a sponge when there's loads of film on your car. because I think it will scratch your clear coat. In fact, it will scratch your clear coat, in my opinion. However, the sponge has made a bit of a comeback because you've got a lot of companies doing these waterless wash systems like the Optimum No Rinse, which are rinseless wash systems, but also waterless wash systems. And when you're using those cleaning technologies, this kind of cushioning of the dirt, you can actually use a sponge to clean your car and it won't scratch your clear coat, and you can test that quite easily for yourself. So the sponge has made a good comeback because of companies like Optimum and the big red sponge, you know. I've got my drawer full of sponges here. So you've got like the big red sponge, you've got your normal cheap 50p sponge or whatever. You also got all these different types of microfiber coated sponges and all that stuff. So the sponge has made a comeback and it's dropped down from number 1 probably to number 5 because of the fact that it is very handy, okay? But my recommendation is if you're doing a traditional wash on a very dirty car or even just a lightly dirty car, don't use a sponge because unless you're using waterless or rinseless wash systems, etc., that are designed to be used with a sponge, okay? That's the sponge thing covered. Let's not overcomplicate this one. Next, right, coming in at number 4, turbo polishing. That's what I've written down here. So you'll see these kind of like viral videos of some bloke, and you'll use the word clown. That would have been a bit harsh because we've all probably guilty of doing turbo polishing before we got into it, and I include myself on that. Anyway, let's not go there. It's not I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. Turbo polishing, using the rotary polisher at high speed, throwing lots of product onto the panel and then just going over and blasting the hell out of that panel in very, very quick times. You'll see that going on. If you show yourself doing that in a video, it's going to go viral across the detailing forums because it is a big faux pas. The irony is, you can see the horrendous ones where guys really don't know what they're doing and they're using these machines recklessly, and they're going to be causing all sorts of problems, probably making the finish worse ultimately. But you go up and down car dealerships, independents, main dealers, stuff like that, and look at their cars. The amount on a nice sunny day where you've got real strong sunlight, the amount of cars you can spot with buffer trowels in them is ridiculous, okay? Virtually every garage, I could go to, I can find buffer trowels on their cars. So it's still a big problem today. So I think with this turbo polishing, and it's probably good that people pick up on it and spread the word about why the detailers are using dual action polishers, because I'm a big fan of rotary polishers because you can avoid, I was talking to someone about it the other day, you can avoid all these problems with overheating the paintwork by just running at low speeds, okay? But the people that use them don't know this, and they think they're working more efficiently by having them at high speeds. So you can solve all these problems by just keeping the speeds below 1,000 RPM as a rough guide, or even slower, But there you go. You could also solve the problem by going down the line of dual action polishers, which seems to be the standard almost now for how you work on clear coat, which is something I want to do some more videos on. Anyway, my brain's getting too much caught up into all of this. It's supposed to be a fun one. So turbo polishing, number 4. Okay, in third place, and this is actually quite an important one. So if you do make this mistake, we all make mistakes. This is supposed to be a fun video, getting carried away. But it's using rubber and vinyl and plastic dressings on contact control areas of the car. So, obviously the brake pedal, the clutch, the accelerator, the main ones that you're gonna need. You need to put your foot on the brake. You do not want your foot slipping off there. But also, putting dressings that are slippery on your handbrake cover, or your gear stick, or even your steering wheel, anything that you use to control the car. In the same way, also putting those tyre dressings on the contact area of the tyre tread that's going to be going on the road. Kind of pointless, unless you're taking your car to a show and you really want everything to be immaculate while they're looking at it. Unless you're doing that, there isn't much point in dressing the tread of a tyre, is there? In fact, I can't think of any point apart from you want it to look good while the guy's looking at it. But I don't think I've ever dressed the tread of a tyre. because I just say it's just a bit silly really, but there you go, that's just me. So number 3, be careful about using rubber, plastic and tyre dressings on any contact areas or any control areas where you need to control the car. You know what I'm getting at. So there you go, you will get shot down in flames for that one, and quite rightly so. You could argue that one should really be at number 1, but I've got it there as number 3 because I think everyone knows about that. The next one, number 2, we're getting to number 1 now. This one's a great one. This one will always be high up on the list somewhere, and that is putting microfiber on the floor, or equally machine polishing pads or applicator pads, okay? And if you've done a picture of yourself cleaning your car and you're really proud, you put it up there on a forum or Facebook group, and in the background on the floor you can see your microfiber, you are going to get absolutely crucified, okay? And to be honest, probably rightly so. You should not be putting microfiber on the floor. It pulls in dirt into it. If it's wet, you'll pick up even more dirt. Yes, if you're done for the day and you're sticking that towel or buffing cloth in the washing machine, then it's going to release most of that dirt, you know, most of the time, but it's not guaranteed. You can still have a bit of grit in your microfiber at the end, and if it's deep in there, you could be asking for trouble. Although, you know, we've all dropped microfiber. Let's just not beat around the bush. We've probably all dropped it, not seen it. You don't throw that microfiber away, do you? Unless it's some old greasy rag thing. You just give it a good shake out and wash it, and you know, you need to be careful. But you want to avoid dropping this stuff on the floor. For me, you know, dropping it is a mistake, it's fine, but if you accidentally just put it there because you don't realise, then I think that's a really dangerous thing. If you're putting your microfiber on the floor because you think you're done with it for the day or whatever, that's just a bit silly for me. The worst thing for me, and again, this is all supposed to be fun, and it is all fun and all that sort of stuff, but for me, whenever I see a machine polisher on the floor, something sort of twitches, and I have to resist the urge. I'm becoming a troll, but I have to resist the urge to say, you know, you shouldn't have that machine polisher on the floor. The main reason is all the dirt and dust is all on the floor, and you're kicking it around when you're moving, and there's a good chance you're going to move the lead of the machine polisher, and it's going to tip over, and then, you know, you'll spot it, and you'll be like, whoops, and you'll probably swap pads unless you're a real cowboy, you know. But it's just something that should be avoided. You should have all your stuff away from the workshop floor on a trolley or on a table somewhere. Have all your polishes nice and organised in a clean area where there's no grit and dust. And by doing that and working kind of clean, you reduce the risk of scratching your clear coat, which is a real kind of risk. And I think anyone that's machine polished a lot of cars will have at some point done a set of compounding or polishing where afterwards you've buffed it down and you've seen that there's grit in the pad, and it's a pain when you do it because you have to do quite a lot of chopping to get those types of machine grit inflicted scratches out. So, you know, this number 2, microfiber or pads on the floor is worthy of being there. On the flip side, you know, don't get too carried away with the need to trolling, because probably everybody's dropped a microfiber cloth at some point, but don't be the guy that puts your microfiber on the floor just because you don't think it's going to do any damage. You know, it will do some damage, guys, so avoid doing that, obviously. And finally, in number 1 place as the most ridiculous faux pas I personally think you could ever do. I've only seen this in the last year with the kind of emergence of like YouTube and Facebook and all that sort of stuff, and that is snow foaming and pressure washing the interior of a car. It is, you know, every time I see those ones, that cracks me up, because you know anything about cars, the interior of cars are not designed to be pressure washed and snow foamed, and there's a good chance you'll be destroying some electrical components in there. You'll also be flooding, like the carpets and seats will be like filling up with water, and you know that could be causing mould and rotting and rusting issues, but you just don't do it. You don't clean an interior of a car like that, and it just looks so ridiculous when you see someone doing it, and even worse when you see someone doing it on a high-end car, you know, just like destroying the car and pressure washing the leather seats and all that sort of stuff, and that cracks me up. So that's my personal favourite number 1, and because there's just nothing, like I say, that is just so ridiculous. Okay guys, so let's just quickly recap and fly through our list. So number 10, the automated or hand car wash shop. Number 9, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, the wax or the sealant. Number 8, the 2-bucket method. You know, oh well, I've already covered that. Should you or should you not use 2 buckets? You know, and if you don't, you're going to get shot down in flames. So you can't win either way, really. Number 7, the brush on a stick. Number 6, bird shit and bog roll. Number 5, the sponge. Number 4, turbo polishing. Number 3, using like dressings on like brake pedals and tyre treads and all that sort of stuff. Number 2, microfiber on the floor. And number 1, snow foaming and pressure washing the inside of cars. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Like I say, this one's a little bit of fun. You know, detailing is supposed to all be about having a laugh and loving the car and enjoying it and all that sort of stuff. But obviously there are some things that are considered right and wrong. And these are the types of things that if you're ever putting a picture of your car up online or asking a question online, sanity check it against these 10 things and then you should be all right. But I'm sure I've missed a few things here, and this was just a quick brainstorm for me. So perhaps in the comment, if you like this, do your top 10 and, you know, let me know why your number 1 is kind of like your top priority. And like I say, any that I've missed, let me know. It's all a bit of fun, guys, this one, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel for more videos. Bye for now.